Good morning. The committee will come to order. Today, the committee will consider the fiscal year 2025 appropriations bills recommended by the Subcommittee on Energy and Water Development and related agencies, the Subcommittee on Defense, the Subcommittee on Labor, Health and Human Services, and Education and related agencies. We are still working on a path forward on FSGG. We hope to be able to vote on that as well, and we'll be working on that. So I just would like all members to know at the top we'll be voting on 3 of the bills. We will come back and vote on the 4th as soon as we get an agreement on how we're going to move forward on that. With that, I will begin with some opening remarks. Next, the Vice Chair will give her opening remarks, and as soon as the opening remarks have concluded and everyone is here, I intend to begin voting on final passage of the 3 bills that I mentioned, the other one when we can get to an agreement. We have a number of other committees meeting this morning and a short window to have all of our members here, so I ask everyone to please be here as soon as possible so we can have full attendance and get the votes done by 10 o'clock. Following the 4 votes, we will move to the consideration of amendments to the Energy and Water Bill, the Defense Bill, the LHHS Bill, and the FSGG Bill when we have that ready to move forward. With that, I want to thank Senator Kennedy, who is my ranking member of the Energy and Water Subcommittee, Senator Tester and Collins for the Defense Subcommittee, who are the Defense Subcommittee and ranking member, Senators Baldwin and Capito, the LHHS Subcommittee Chair and ranking member, and Senators Van Hollen and Haggerty, the FSGG Subcommittee Chair and ranking member. Everyone has worked very hard to pull together their bills, and as this committee knows, we've already passed over half of our FY25 funding bills, 7 of them, in fact, in overwhelming bipartisan votes. We are on track to continue that progress today by wrapping up work on more bills. And we're continuing to work hard to get to a bipartisan agreement on the Homeland Security bill. The additional time we've allowed our committee is to take a closer look at the issues such as the Secret Service budget as we learn more from the assassination attempt of former President Trump just over 2 weeks ago. My hope is that we will be able to mark that bill up when we return. In the meantime, before us today are strong bipartisan bills that make crucial investment in our nation's future. By working together, finding common ground, and rejecting dangerous cuts and extreme policy, we have once again produced strong bipartisan bills that increase support for families, strengthen our national security, invest in our economy and competitiveness, and can actually be signed into law. These bills make common sense investments in programs that make a real difference for our nation's future. There are investments here that strengthen our economy through workforce development, cutting-edge scientific and biomedical research, support for small business, and major support for our infrastructure and waterways that are crucial to trade, agriculture, and more. There are investments in these bills to make families' lives a little easier and help parents make ends meet, like increased funding for childcare, our K-12 public schools, and to help students get a higher education. Support for community health care and public health work, resources to make sure families can afford heating and AC, and much more. There are investments to protect our environment, whether it's restoring ecosystems for key species like salmon, addressing extreme weather dangers like flooding, or environmental cleanup like at the Hanford nuclear site. And there are investments to protect people in every corner of the country, protect our nation, and protect our democracy, whether that be protecting consumers from fraud, protecting communities from opioids and pandemics, protecting our electrical grid from cyber attacks, protecting our elections from bad actors and foreign interference, or protecting our nation with strong strategic defense investments. These are really critical investments we're talking about today, so I'm glad we were able to work together like families back home expect us to do and write bills that meet the challenges of this moment and set our country up for success. These are serious, bipartisan bills with funding priorities that can actually be signed into law, and I hope we are able to get each of them across the finish line today.